What's up, everybody? We're the Chris and Cab real estate team here in Houston, Texas. If you're looking to make a move to Houston or around the Houston area and you're trying to get more information as to the different neighborhoods here inside of the Loop, then keep on watching because this video is for you.
In this video, we'll be talking about everything you need to know about Shady Acres. And it happens to be the neighborhood that we live in. Keep watching because at the end, we'll show you a few different listings so that you can get a sense of what you can get at different price points in this neighborhood.
All right, to start things off, let's take a look at a map and get a sense of where Shady Acres is. So here is the Heights, and if we zoom in a little bit, let's take a look. Here is downtown Houston, and northwest of that is going to be the Heights. And then west of the Heights is Shady Acres. So the boundary really is going to be, this is Shepherd right here that runs north and south, and Durham runs parallel to it. It's almost like the same street because one goes south, Durham goes south, Shepherd goes north. Anyways, Shepherd, Durham is going to be the border between Shady Acres and the Heights. Now, a lot of people will say that the Shady Acres is the Heights, but you know, in my opinion and for a lot of people, it's not part of Heights proper. And so Heights proper is going to be north of Shepherd. Heights is going to be right here, east of Shepherd, and then Shady Acres is going to be west of Shepherd and Durham, south of 610, east of TC Jester, which is this wavy little street right here, and then north of I-10. So it's like this little triangle pizza pie situation that you see right here. Okay, so right now we are at the Flower Child off of Shepherd and 17th. I'm not sure the name of the shopping center, but you know, it's the same shopping center that Flower Child's in, Kindy. I'm sure you've seen it if you've driven by. And really we're here because it's one of the reasons why people like Shady Acres. Even though we're not in Shady Acres right now, in this location that we're filming in, Shady Acres is close to this location, as well as a bunch of other locations like Heights proper.
Yeah, so it's a convenient location, like Cabby said, really close to downtown, 610, I-10. It's super easy to get on some of the major freeways out here. So we're close to Heights proper. It's probably about a 5 or 10 minute bike ride or kind of a further walk if you want to get there. But since we're so close to everything, it makes it super convenient to live in this area. As far as walkability, there are a few things that are close by in Shady Acres to walk to, such as Cedar Creek. Let's see, Roast and Brew is one of our favorites. Also, some of the bars on 19th Street, if you're into that kind of thing. There's a ton of new places out there that are opening up.
19th and 20th. So if you're familiar with Heights Social, Austin's Backyard, all that is on 20th Street, and it's walkable from a lot of the homes in Shady Acres.
Another benefit of living in Shady Acres are that the home prices aren't as expensive compared to the Heights. I'm sure you guys have all heard of the Heights and all want to be in the Heights, and that's why home prices have driven up. But if you're in Shady Acres, you're still super close and you get the convenience of being in the area still.
And then another benefit to Shady Acres is the improving schools. See, one of the reasons why Heights was more desirable is that the public schools that it was zoned to were more highly rated. But over the last few years, some schools like Sinclair Elementary and other elementaries that are in Shady Acres, their ratings have been improving in recent years. Now, those were some of the advantages to Shady Acres, so let's talk a little bit about some of the disadvantages. Like we mentioned, Heights proper is generally considered to be more desirable. A part of that reason is that subjectively, maybe objectively, it's just a prettier neighborhood, a prettier area. The streets are lined with The streets are lined with oak trees. The homes are a little bit prettier. In Shady Acres, you're still getting like random warehouses on the same street as houses. You still get that in Heights proper, but not as much as Shady Acres and not as big of warehouses, as well as apartment complexes right now. Like, I think it's like between 20th and 26th Street, there's like 3 or 4 new apartment home communities being built in Shady Acres. So, you know, for a lot of people, that's just not as appealing, not as desirable, not as pretty when compared to the Heights, where it's just single family homes, like, again, rows and rows of tree-lined streets and pretty bungalows and modern craftsman type farmhouses.
Right, and then I feel like compared to Shady Acres, you get less of the bungalow and craftsman style homes, but you get more of the townhomes, you know, 2, 3, 4-story townhomes, which just makes the neighborhood look a little bit different.
Another downside to Shady Acres is all the bars. So like the bar situation is like a double-edged sword in a way, right? It's convenient if you like going out, especially like Sunday Funday situation, football games, there's a lot of like patio bar type situations, but at night, the traffic situation can be pretty tough, especially around 19th and 20th. So, you know, like I had said, On 19th and 20th are the bars, and then between 20th and 26th, I think, are all the apartment complexes. So we recommend that if you're looking at Shady Acres, to stay south of 19th and really like 18th, which is our street, maybe we're biased, but 18th and lower. So from 14 to 18, there, all the single family homes are already developed. You don't have that many large empty lots for a new apartment complex to be built, and you're further away from the bars where you don't get any riffraffery. Like I said, we live on 18th. We could walk to the bars, and we have walked to the bars in the rare occasion we decide to go out. But, you know, most nights we don't ever have to deal with the traffic, have to deal with any shenanigans.
Yeah, and there's also a brewery down the street from our house, and it's crazy. It's actually pretty quiet there. So.
Yeah, like, you know, the craziest nights, by 10 o'clock, like the brewery closes, maybe even midnight, but kind of like, I don't know, all the craziness like dies down by then. So we've never had any issues with traffic or loudness or shenanigans. All right, so with that said, let's take a look at a few houses in the Shady Acres area so you know what you're gonna get for different price points in this neighborhood.
The first house we're going to check out in Shady Acres, that's actually here on our street, West 18th. This is a townhome that's listed at $499. That's a great example of what you can get in Shady Acres for under $500,000. This house is 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and 2,200 square feet. And it was built in 2014.
All right, so we just showed you the first house here in Shady Acres, and before we move on to the next house at the next price point, kind of wanted to show you this street as it kind of typifies why Shady Acres is sometimes considered a little bit less desirable, because some streets aren't as pretty. So on this very street where we just showed you that townhouse, we also have like an office building just across the street, some older homes that maybe need some renovation, an empty lot that they haven't built any townhomes on for like the last 3 years, and then a warehouse and a brewery. And on the other side is just townhomes. So some streets are more homey, more developed than others, which we will show you. But again, because it's kind of like dependent on the street, you know, Shady Acres by a lot of people isn't as pretty, isn't as desirable as Heights proper. But because of that, you get more affordable homes. Okay, the next set of listings that we're gonna show you here in Shady Acres are a pair of new construction homes built by Mazzarino Homes. One is 3-bed, 2.5 bath, about 2,500 square feet, and it went pending at about $760,000. The other one is 4 beds, 3.5 bath, about 3,000 square feet, and it went pending at about $880,000. So you can kind of start to see the range of homes and price points here in Shady Acres. Okay, so the last house we're gonna show you is the Dream House. It's one of the homes that we saw on the MLS. It's no longer currently on the market. It leased for $12,000 a month, but when it was listed, it was for $2 million. It's actually this one right behind me right here. This one right here, can't see it, right there. So we are in a section of Shady Acres called Clark Pines. Homes here are typically what, about 4,000 square feet?
And they go over $1 million.
Yeah, anywhere between, I guess, probably 1 to 1.5 million typically. But like we showed you earlier, there are homes here in Shady Acres that are under 5, just under 5, the townhomes. Then we have some 2-story front-loading single-family homes, first-floor living, that are probably now in the 7 to 8 range, maybe even 600 range if it's not new construction. And then here in Clark Pines, you have your $1 million listings that are over 4,000 square feet.